four things that you must pay attention to before you buy any land here in Cameroon. Now, I call them the 4 L's of real estate, which is the first L that we have is the location. All right, now the location of a property is very, very important. Before you buy any property, based on what you are buying it for, make sure that you understand that the location of that area is going to be good for what you're buying for the purpose of the land. Maybe you might be buying the land here to do or to maybe build a commercial house there, maybe to rent, and then you buy it in a location which does not favor that area. So the location is very, very important. The second L that we have is the land price. Right now, before buying land as well, make sure that you understand that the current price of that property that they're selling to you matches the area, all right, that is the actual price of that area. Because now, for example, we have properties that we are selling at Bokwangoh here in Buya, southwest region of Cameroon, where a 400-meter square is just 3.5 million francs. Now, somebody can still sell a property here for 10 million to someone who has no idea about the current price of that area. So it's just like, what is the worth of 1 meter square in this particular location? This varies based on how development and the accessibility of an area is. The second one which we have is the landmarks. Now, before you buy a land, actually understand what you have around that area. All right, what are the landmarks? What are the things that can bring development to that area? Now, we have some people where before they buy a property, they want to know what is around that area, like what can bring development easily to that area. All right, maybe for example, you might want to buy a property for a commercial house or commercial building. All right, and then you are looking for a place where a school is going to be built. This is a landmark already, and it's going to be giving you an advantage. Just take, for example, that we have the UB here. Now, the properties around that UB, if you check the price now, you're going to be amazed about how much it cost. All right. But meanwhile, 20 years ago, it was not like that. But because of the school, it has increased the value of the properties around. Now we have the property that I mentioned here in Bokwangoh, in Buya Southwest region of Cameroon. And where we have this property, the Biaka Group have already reserved have 2 hectares there, and this means that in the nearest future that they are going to be bringing their hospital there and stuff like that. So now you imagine buying a property there now, all right, for 3.5 million, and then in 5 years they build a hospital there. Now at that point you can be selling a property there for more than 30 million. All right, this means that you got in early, not blindly, but you had that knowledge of landmarks around that area. Okay, now even this property that we are talking about, it is just 7 minutes drive from the Bokwangoh Health Center. Okay, which means that that is already a landmark around, which is not far from the property itself. So when you're buying a property, make sure that you understand landmarks around that area. Now, the fourth L that we have is the land title. So before you buy a land, make sure to verify if the land certificate or the land title of that area is actually genuine. Now, there is something that is going on now. There are people who are making land certificates in a day, in a month, and stuff like that. But there is a standard time for a land certificate, all right, which means that it has to undergo a process before the certificate. I think I've made a video on that, telling you how to apply for a land certificate and how the process looks like. So if you come today and you're expecting your land certificate tomorrow, automatically it's not going to go through that process, because there is always a time that they have to put it they have to publish that application for about 15 days, and then 30 days again, I think so. And this is to make sure that there is no objection. It's just like when you want to sign up for a marriage, they say, okay, they're going to publish this for this number of days, so that if anybody have an objection, the person can come forth, and then they arrange the issue before they move forward. So if you're expecting a land certificate in just a day or two, that process will not be followed up. And if there is any future issues, future land dispute in that area, now there's going to be scrutinization, which means that they're going to be investigating that land certificate, and they'll discover that you actually skip some processes, and at the end of the day, that might be a loss for you. So these are the main 4 L's that you have to look out for before you become even interested in any property. Like I mentioned, the property that we're giving out here in Bokwangoh, which is just 7 minutes drive from the Bokwangoh Health Center here in Buya Southwest region of Cameroon, it has a land certificate, and we have over 200 plots. So make sure that you secure at least 2 plots here, because in the nearest future, the property here is going to be sold for triple this price and even more. All right, because remember I said the Biaka Group owns 2 hectares here already. So which means in the nearest future, They are even the ones to be bringing development to that area, maybe by bringing a hospital or anything that they want to use that 2 hectares for. And if you are owning a property there, you become now your property, the value of that your property is going to automatically increase. So make sure that you reach out directly to me on WhatsApp. You can book a site inspection so that we can inspect this area, and I'll encourage you to secure a property here. All right. So thank you, and see you on my DM.